Hello everybody, welcome back to SnowRunner, my hard mode playthrough. We are in Big Salmon Peak, in the Yukon, and in the Taiga. Slightly different start to the episode than what I had planned, but then I was thinking about what to do and how to do it, and this just appealed to me. So I want to bring the Taiga through to flooded foothills anyway, because I know I need to do a low saddle recovery of the new Cat 770. I don't need to do that now. What I need to do now is cabin work. What I thought I would do is get the Taiga back to civilization, because I left it way up in the northwest corner, actually quite near the gateway, but I'm not going through the gateway up in this corner, heading back down to the garage area and the factory area. And what I thought I'd do is pick up the big blue 5-slot semi-trailer, call by the garage and get some fuel, because I've got just over half a tank of fuel left. It should be enough for what I'm going to do. So grab the blue trailer, grab some fuel, and there is also, right next to the gateway, there's some wooden planks. Now, the next thing I need to do contract-wise, in terms of progression of what I was already working on, is move cabins around. And I was looking at what I need. I need 2 cabins at Cabin Zone 1 on flooded foothills to progress the ore sorter, which is what I've been working on for the last 2 episodes. But then I will subsequently need to take one of those cabins back to Cabin Zone 2 for the conveyor step. So I thought, instead of doing that, because I want to bring the Taiga through anyway, bring through some wooden planks, use the cabin crafting zone in flooded foothills, which is near the railway station, so I can get a container there as well, craft up one more cabin, and then I can basically leave one cabin at Cabin Zone 2, make another one to put at Cabin Zone 1, and then when I get to the point that I'm doing the conveyors, it'll just be easier. I won't have to take one back across flooded foothills, and I wouldn't bother doing that if I didn't want to bring the Taiga through anyway, and if the Taiga in coming through wasn't going to drive right past the cabin zone. There's a little bit of a detour to... I don't really need the blue trailer on flooded foothills, but why not? If it's there, it might give me options. I also don't really need the... I could just do a second trip to take one of the cabins back to Cabin Zone 2. But doing it this way just feels easier, because I've got to do this drive in the Taiga anyway. Just make sure I go the right way here. So my goal is to get to... my trailer is here. So I think... yeah, doesn't really matter which way I go, but I will follow the path directly ahead. Not used to Taiga for ages. And partly I just fancy driving a different truck as much as I like the Force. I've been driving it pretty much non-stop for what, 10 episodes? I just fancied mixing it up a little bit for myself. While I'm at the garage, I might stick some muds on it as well. Just because I don't think I've got any particular icy road stuff left to do on the Taiga. I don't have much to do on the Taiga at all, really. It's a case of rescuing that Cat 770. Not entirely sure the best route. I better check, I suppose. I think left gets me out of the mud and snow and onto asphalt a bit quicker. So yeah, pitch dark, unfortunately. I'll stick it in the cab for a minute. Not that it helps so much with a long bonnet Tayga, but maybe a little bit more illuminated pixels for YouTube benefit. Ooh, bunch of damage. Thought I'd straddled that. Nothing fatally broken. Right, so now I'm going to whip round to the factory area. Grab the blue trailer, turn around, back to the gateway, load up some wooden planks, detach the trailer, detour to the garage, get some fuel, probably get some mud tyres, and on into Flooded Foothills. The chain's on, but I've still got a little bit of a slide on there. 60 kilometers an hour, I wish. So I did a community post a couple of days ago. I just want to make sure people don't miss this. And this is not in any way sponsored or affiliated. I don't have affiliation links or any of that stuff. There's no monetization going on this channel at all. Yet. I might change. Or that will change by necessity when I hit 1,000 subs. Which will be sooner than I ever expected. So thank you for that. But so this is not a promotion. But actually my son noticed that Need for Speed Heat is currently on a ridiculous sale on Steam. It's usually £60. It's on sale for £3. So I don't know what that would be in your currencies. But at the moment, that's pretty much $3. The sad state of the UK finances at the moment. But anyway, let's not talk about that. So yeah, I just thought that's quite a lot of us are into driving games. Worth sharing the fact that you can get Need for Speed Heat at 95% discount right now on Steam. And I haven't played it, I'm not endorsing it, I don't know anything about it. I bought it because it was a special offer. I think that special offer lasts until the 11th of October if I'm right. So you got a little bit of time if you wanted it. I've bought it. I'm not planning on adding it to the channel. I did have a comment on the post saying it would be good for the channel, but I don't know anything about the game. All I know is that it's a driving game. I've got this steering wheel set up, and therefore I wouldn't mind trying this steering wheel out on some other driving games than SnowRunner. So that's why I noticed it and bought it, but I haven't got any plans to sort of do anything with it other than let you guys know there's a ridiculously good offer available if you wanted it. It's less than a truck DLC for this game. And then truck DLC for this game, unintended segue there. So the rumours are that the Wolfpack DLC, which let's face it, the community response has been overwhelmingly, these are useless without all-wheel drive. The rumours are that they will be getting all-wheel drive, so I wouldn't be surprised if Phase 8, when it lands, has all-wheel drive unlocks for those trucks on its maps, and possibly diff lock as well. But yeah, I don't know what the devs are thinking, really, to be honest. How could you possibly think it's a good idea to introduce highway trucks with zero off-road capability to this game and expect us to be excited about it? Strange. Right, so I am going to grab these two. Let me get back into cam view so I can see where the pickup point is. Right, there we go. So if I take myself a sharpish angle on my trailer, it makes it a bit easier to get them in the trailer. Although it's easy enough anyway. And then we're going to take wooden planks onto the loading platform ×2, pitch black. Probably should have fueled up first. Although the Kodiak can come and get me, it's only at the garage, I'm really close. Little blue crane, I've used this for a while. When this homeowner saw me leave the map, they probably thought, oh, I'm safe, he's not going to steal my house. And then here I am. I'll do, mate. That cargo. Still a crane. Turn myself around. So pointing in the right direction out the gateway. And then I'll come back and get the trailer. But I'm going to go and get some fuel and some mud tires on. So this is obviously a bit of an unplanned bath at the start of the episode, but it does mix it up a little bit. And it's again the sort of thing that I might have done some of this off cam before, but I don't really want to do that anymore. Because it's gameplay, and this is a let's play. And you know, let's fill myself up. Actually, it's easier to do that just by changing truck because I don't have any add-ons anyway. So refuel, done. Change truck. And then into the garage. One slightly beaten up Tega, customized tires. So what are the choices? I've already got, so that's the Tega balloon tires, the Tega tires, the classics. I'm going to stick these on as muds rather than the Tega balloons. Started using them in Tamir based on comment recommendations. I just checked the tire spreadsheet that people have linked me before, which I'll put a link to in the description. And the Tega tires and these MHS2s have exactly the same mud, dirt and road rating. There's nothing really to choose between them. And whether or not it's imaginary, because if they've got the same rating it ought to be, but I always feel that these are a bit more stable. Because they're not like bouncy monster truck tires. Anyway, I'm going to stick with these ones. I do have to be aware that I'm driving on icy roads more so in this map than the other one. We'll get this trailer hooked up and we'll get into the cabin construction zone. Done. Connected. Bit violent, wasn't it? Go. Go to the foothills. Probably taking a bit longer than I wanted it to, but even if all we do is cabins, we'll be well set up for the next session then. There'll be no more cabin movements needed. I've been taking the Kodiak off through those trees and avoiding this puddle. Not sure about doing that with a big trailer though, so I'm going to just stick to the script for this bit. Let's get back into third person. It's going to be daylight soon, not yet, but can't see these tyres performing anyway at the moment, but at least I know they're not changed. They should do better for this map. I might as well go and get the container now and then come back and only do one trip into the construction zone. I've got to take this trailer through anyway. I don't know if I'll use this trailer on this map now. You know, it might be certain runs are easier to do with this than they would be with the Force and the dolly trailer on behind. But obviously I can carry one slot less of cargo. So I'm not sure. But at least having both options here will just give me some choice. Containers are the only thing left in this warehouse. Right, beautiful. So the crane, reattach, get down to the crafting zone, make up one cabin. Job's a good one. I know that was me being a bit reckless, but that's the danger to the railway lines. This nearly went over then. I was driving faster than I should have done, but I nearly lost it then. Drive more carefully. I only just caught that basically. There's probably people thinking this. Oh, I've just realised I've got a third cabin on the other map. There's probably people thinking, why are you crafting cabins? You've got one. And I've just driven past it, basically. Could have loaded that up instead. Wooden planks. I didn't pack, did I? I didn't pack the container. So then craft a cabin, which I didn't need to craft, and then load that onto the loading platform. And then crane mode, get this loaded up. There's no point going back now. I'm here, but yeah, I could have saved myself a little bit of effort there. Restore the crane, pack the cargo, turn around, get it taken over to the ore sorter area. We'll back down the railway line without tipping it, this time all the way through to the ore sorter, non-stop. Safer than driving on the tracks itself, isn't it? Coming into a little bit of daylight. Nice sunrise. And this is definitely the way, and other people in comments have confirmed that this is the way they do it as well. Is use the track to avoid the mud. So I used this, what, 2 episodes ago when I first came through with the Force and the 6 slots. And yeah, people have confirmed that they do the same thing. And it is better to go a little bit further on than what looks like the obvious, like leave here and go via the road. But it is better if you pick the route correctly. Unfortunately, although it's morning, visibility is not great because we're in a misty area. But just a little bit of comfort off the rope, please. I probably turned in a little bit too soon, so just gonna check where it is I'm gonna turn in. This track's trying to tip me. So I think I turned in there and it was too soon. Here might be alright. There's the Spider-Man branches, leave me alone. Come right out of the fuel station then. Sega power. Spilled it. Do you know what? I am going to leave it and get it with the horse without a trailer, because it's the force that's going to do the delivery of it anyway, and the force is parked just around the corner here. So I'm just going to put this up and in the depot where the force is parked, out of the way a little bit, but up there, and then the force can go and pick that up. Quite remarkable that I managed to avoid getting the Tega completely on its side, but I was just a fraction of a second too slow with a winch. This isn't a particularly tippy truck, right? But I think the difference is this is a faster truck, so I'm being a little bit reckless in my driving style, because I've been used to the Force, which is probably no more stable, but it's certainly slower. But anyway, engine off, and then the Force, and go and get that cabin for me and deliver it, and then go and get the other one, and that'll be the cabin's part of that done. Big rock doing in the middle of the bridge. Oh, it's just phased through the bridge by the look of it. Strange. Lights aren't doing very much because it's actually daylight, just really misty. So not brilliant viz even though it's daylight. Right, get you back inside, mate. One slightly damaged cabin. Back it up. It was a bit muddy. So we'll get this one delivered first, and then we will run up to the garage, refuel. Don't think I need it urgently, but refuel and go up to get one cabin from the other cabin zone, and then that'll basically be cabins finished because it recycles them between contracts, as you know. So that'll be the cabin work finished. It'll just be cargo then. So even though this episode is probably going to end up being pretty much just cabin work, I think it sets us up for a smoother rest of the series. I've not actually been to this cabin zone, so I'm not entirely sure of the route across to it. But I'm going to keep driving until the road looks like it's close. Let's get some all-wheel drive going. Not there yet. Well, I guess. Let's just have a look at the map. Okay, so it looks to me like probably cross over here. It looks to me like that should be a crossing. It's gone midday. Look how dark it is still because of this misty effect. Right, so somewhere, make this a crossing point, please. Looks like a good stony riverbed, so it should be fine. I probably wouldn't have wanted to come across here with a Tayga in that trailer anyway. Not that I tipped the cargo out deliberately, I'm not claiming that, but I probably would have transferred the container over into the horse rather than bringing the big blue trailer here and turning it around and all of that shenanigans. Probably easier just to do it in the force. Get the angle right. Well and truly inside, I'll never need to touch it again. Install the crane, and off we go. So we're going to get the other one. Might end up being no cargo on this one. This episode might be just all about cabins. Try not to delete my suspension on props in the yard. Been there, done that. Don't want to do it again. So I think I know in my head the route I would take to get to the other cabin zone. It seems to me a fairly obvious across there, up there, through this one and across here, over the bridge, up to there. I think there's another route that's quicker. Do it. I'll leave the waypoint markers there anyway, just so that I can laugh at myself when I forget them and drive past. I'll get fuel on the way back because I've got a full roof rack, so unless my fuel is desperately low. No, I've got about a quarter of a tank now, a bit more than a quarter of a tank now, plus a full roof, so plenty of fuel to get there and back to the garage, and then refill at the garage, come down, do this delivery. So if I was the sort of YouTuber that was practicing stuff and then giving you a perfect episode, what would I change about this episode? It's obvious, isn't it, right? I've done two things wrong in this episode. One, I've already said, I forgot about the fact that I've actually already got a crafted cabin left on Big Salmon Peak. I could have picked that up instead of picking up those wooden blocks. Would have been more efficient. And I would have been here quicker, probably, without having to do the crafting step. So there's that. And then the other one is that I've also got two metal rolls on the floor right next to the Kodiak. And I forgot all about them. So I could have picked up two metal rolls that are needed for phase 2 as well. So if I was going to give you a perfect episode, that's what I would record. But obviously, I forgot, and therefore it's on me to sort it out later. When I need metal beams and I only need to find 2 more, I'll curse myself because they're right there next to the Kodiak. Where do I get metal rolls on this map? I know there's some in warehouses, but I think the main source is crafting metal beams into rolls. We've got to decide whether it's worth me going back to Big Salmon Peak anyway to get those. I think probably not. I mentioned in the last episode that my dog had surgery and I was a bit distracted by that, and yeah, he's fine. He's obviously fine because vets know what they're doing. He had routine planned surgery for an 18-month-old boy dog. So the surgery went as planned, and when I was recording the episode, he was just a bit groggy from the meds still. But now, a day and a half later, when I'm recording this one, the challenge is keeping him calm and steady while his stitches heal, because he's a very active type of a dog, very active breed, very active individual. So the challenge now is for the next week and a bit to try and keep him calm enough to not pull any stitches out. But he'll be fine, being well looked after. That was a good tip in comments. Now that I've got my field of view wider, if you do the bird's eye view, you can see the stones much easier for your route across these rivers. That wasn't a stall, that was the game thing where it occasionally cuts out the engine. What I will have to be careful about with the cabin strategy that I'm using of just leaving them on the zones is that I deliver the materials for these conveyors in the right order, that I don't mind closing them down. So I might have to withhold one piece of cargo from each of them until I know which ones I don't mind shutting. But like I said last time, I think what I'm going to do once this ore sorter is done is I'll get all the other tasks and logging and everything else done, and then the conveyors will be the final thing I do. So as long as I close them out in the right order, it shouldn't affect any of the gameplay. That's my strategy, and I wouldn't have probably done it that way other than the fact that I had comments telling me it was a good idea, so obviously thank you very much for that. There we go. Don't delete your suspension on that medium pipe. Crane. The crane, that cargo, chuck all the fuel from the roof in to the truck, turn around, get back. Same route, I think. Oh, nearly. Turn it around outside. I think same route. There's no reason. I'm going to the garage rather than directly to the cabin zone, but I still think that that is the quickest route back to the garage. There may be a crossing point here that technically is quicker than going down to the bridge. But I think the second crossing point is about right for the garage. I remember having trouble somewhere here, so I'm not gonna chance a cross in there. I know I had the trailer on when I had trouble. This could probably get through that no problem, but I'd still have to drive off-road down to the other crossing. I actually think this bit you're better off going out onto that stone. Too late now. I just need to pull my nose around and get across forward, but maybe going out onto that. So as any of you know that have been here since the start, and some of you have watched every episode from episode 1, so thank you very much for that. Some of you have joined more recently. So I started this whole thing because I wanted to learn how to make videos. Creating a YouTube channel was kind of a side effect to that. It was just, it gave me a purpose. It's always easier to learn things if you've got an application for them. There's nothing worse than doing classroom training or learning and then not having an application for them, and you just don't really absorb the skills. So I wanted to learn how to make videos. I also wanted to start a SnowRunner hard mode playthrough, and those two facts combined to mean that at the time that I decided to do this, I've made a YouTube channel for SnowRunner, or for gaming, but for SnowRunner really. And then here I am, what, nearly 180 episodes later, still going with SnowRunner and committed to finishing this game in hard mode on YouTube. But I started it to learn how to make videos. And one of the things I've been thinking about recently is the next evolution of that is I would quite like, now that it's become a channel that's growing, to add streaming to that portfolio of skills. So making videos, recording my own game footage, learning to talk to the microphone and be comfortable with that, and then edit the videos into episodes and all of that stuff. That's all valid and useful learning stuff, and I'm still learning that. There's new tricks that I'm learning all the time to try and speed up my editing, mostly is what I'm focused on at the moment. But I also, as the channel has grown in popularity, I've been starting to think that it would be quite nice to add some streams. So at the moment, and I have also spoken before about maybe adding other games, but that's not materialised because partly I can't settle on the type of game I want to do, partly I don't want to interfere too much with SnowRunner. But if I want to learn to stream, I don't really want to stream this game, or at least certainly not this save for this game. Because this is a Let's Play video series, and quite a lot of you are following along on a 45 minutes to an hour length kind of duration episode of real-time Let's Play with time-lapsing, and evolved into trying to not do any jump cuts or very much minimise the jump cuts and try and show every bit of footage but do it as time-lapse if I think it's too tedious to talk to more than anything. So that probably means that where my head is going is I should think about a different game to add a stream to the channel and leave SnowRunner as a Let's Play, continue the format of what I've been doing for SnowRunner, continue trying to improve the videos, trying to improve the quality of recording and make better content as SnowRunner, but not turn it into something where if you're not able to watch a 2 or 3 or 4 hour stream, you're going to miss and lose track of what's happening with the Let's Play. So leave SnowRunner untouched and come up with a different game to add in as a stream. And then it comes down to, right, do I want to stream once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week? Because in a way, streaming, if you do it the way that I'm planning, is less work than videos, because you stream real-time game footage as you're playing, and then you don't have to edit that video. So whereas at the moment it takes me about an hour and a bit, maybe like an hour and 15 minutes roughly, gameplay is what I aim for on a recording now, and then edit that down to something around the 45 to 55 minute mark. That's my target. But that editing phase then takes me a good 3 or 4 hours, whereas streaming, like a 2 hour episode of streaming would just be 2 hours of gameplay and no editing needed. So it's a different type of proposition. So yeah, I'm just kind of putting that out there as letting you know that's the sort of thing I'm thinking of at the minute. I haven't decided what game that would be yet. I've got some candidates, and some of those candidates I've already discussed on here before. Actually, before I start the engine, what's the best route down? It probably is coming back out this way. And into full dark again. There's no really good angle to give you guys a better view than the dark, unfortunately. Here we are. Cabin zone 1. Got a delivery for you, mate. Whoever you are in there. How do I want to position this? A very tight yard, isn't it? I think that'll be alright. Give me enough room. So unpack the cargo. Crane. Angle the camera down a little bit so that I can see the height better. Lower it. Get it untangled from my truck. And lower it. Ore sorter. Cutscene in the pitch black. Wonderful, thanks for that. There's Matega there. Possibly should have thought about that and waited for daylight to hand it in. Let's have a quick look at what's needed. 6 metal rolls. Just go into here, it's the easier way to read it. So phase 1 complete. 6 metal rolls. I've already got 2 of them there, right next to the Tega. 2 slabs. And so I'll need to take some more cement up to the concrete plant. I've got 2 cement in there. Yeah, so I can craft 1 slab now. I need to take 2 more cement up there. Fuel. I think I can get unlimited supply of fuel. So I need 8 fuel, 8 bricks. And I think I can get an unlimited supply of both here. Yeah, I can. Fuel and bricks. So I'm not going to destruct any buildings for bricks. There's no point. I may as well. So metal rolls are going to be the thing that I need to work out where to get them from. So I need to find 4 more metal rolls. But I can deliver everything else quite easily. This has got... Oh, this storage zone has got 4 metal rolls. So I didn't need the 2. I feel better now. I don't need the 2. I'd probably need them for conveyors. That's a different problem. But you get fuel there as well. So the play at the start of the next episode, if I stick to my own plan, is up to this warehouse, collect 2 cement, go up to the concrete plant. I'll have to take the trailer. Maybe I'll do that in the Tega. I've got to bring back 4 slots worth of concrete. Alright, anyway, I'll work out which trucks I'm going to use. But basically, that's relatively easy now. Everything I need is either in this warehouse, or in this warehouse, or needs crafting there. So, not the episode I expected to do, because I haven't done any other cargo, I've just done cabins. But I've set myself up now for a relatively easy run through the rest of the cargo for the ore sorter and the 3 conveyor repairs. So I think that's a good way to do it. I'm happy with the outcome. I am going to leave this episode here. I hope you enjoyed watching the episode. I hope to see you in the next one. But in the meantime, thank you very much and goodbye.